This week we're talking about favorite characters, a topic that would probably get you a different answer if you asked me it next week. Sweeney talked a little bit about her struggles about being first in our rotation, and she talked a little bit about not being sure where to go with the topic. And I just want to say, Sweeney, I kind of have the opposite problem. Like, I think it out in my head a little bit, and then you do something, and I'm like, oh, that's a thing. That is also a thing that I should do and that I want to do. So maybe one day we should switch and see how that works out for us. The thing this week was that you mentioned TV characters as well, and for some reason in my head I just thought book characters, so I had to go back and consider if any TV characters would be on this list, and I have a few. It's interesting that in the comments a lot of you were listing your own favorites, and you realized that a lot of your favorites were either gray or anti-hero kind of characters. Sweeney and I have talked about this about how the trend recently seems to be around the anti-hero. I definitely have anti-heroes that I root for, but I think in general, I gravitate towards the good characters who are just flawed. And Sweeney, as to your favorite, I think this is why Lyra is such a great character, because she's good and she's, she's brave and she's awesome, but she has that one character flaw that she lies and she's good at it. So I think it's such a consistent thing about her, and it makes her so real and so human in the midst of this, fantasy story, that it's part of what endeared me to her, to your favorite character. So I think on the other end of that spectrum, just maybe even a little bit tropey because of how good and pure and bright she is, one of my favorite characters is Lucy Pevensey from the Chronicles of Narnia. I remember reading about the 6-year-old and even to this day wanting to be like her because she embodies so many of these great qualities. She's a brave explorer. She's brave in the face of danger. She opens her heart to this new place and to these new creatures, and she's humble and she's loyal, and there's just so many great things about her that it's hard not to root for her. From the classics, Anne Elliot and Elizabeth Bennet, I love Austen, and those two are definitely my favorite. From Harry Potter, pretty much everyone. Harry Potter, of course. Harry never gets mentioned because he's a titular character, but he's amazing, I think, and every time that, there was something with him against someone else, or even some of his friends, like him and Ron had problems, had issues, but I was always pro Harry. Like, I wanted Harry to win them all. Same goes with Hermione. She's excellent. I think most people will recognize that she is excellent, and she's such a good girl power kind of role model. And not only that, but she's such a good role model for intelligence and reading and being curious and not being afraid to show that side of yourself. Neville Longbottom became a favorite during my second reread. Next, I have Todd and Viola from The Knife of Never Letting Go. From TV, I have the Doctor, and I think I'm cheating by just putting the Doctor and not being specific which one, but like all of them. Buffy Summers from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I know we kind of had our issues with that series, but still Buffy from the beginning to end, she was one of my favorite characters. Even during her low moments, it hurt so much because I loved her. Same with Willow. And finally, Veronica Mars. That's it. Favorite characters. Sweeney and I will both be traveling, so hopefully we can keep up our streak. We're like 3 weeks in, right, of doing these and getting them done. Yes. Sweeney, I hope we can do this. Let's not drop the spirit stick, hey? I will see your face on Tuesday. Don't worry if your favorite character is like a murderer or something. This is nothing about you. Probably.